External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and US Secretary of State John Kerry are holding a press conference after co-chairing the strategic and commercial dialogue. Let's listen in.
सेक्रेटरी कैरी और मैंने आतंकवाद, जो कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय समुदाय के लिए अहम चुनौती है और जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय शांति और सुरक्षा के लिए सबसे बड़ा खतरा है, इस विषय पर विस्तृत चर्चा की। मुझे आपको बताते हुए खुशी है कि इस मुद्दे पर हमारे विचार बिल्कुल एक जैसे थे। There was a meeting of minds on this issue. भारत और हमारे क्षेत्र के एक बड़े भूभाग में पाकिस्तान की ओर से सीमा पार आतंकवाद की लगातार बनी हुई समस्या से मैंने सेक्रेटरी कैरी को अवगत कराया। हम दोनों इस बात पर सहमत थे कि किसी भी राष्ट्र को आतंकवाद पर दोहरे मानदंड नहीं अपनाने चाहिए, जैसे अच्छा या बुरा कहकर आतंकवादियों में अंतर करना, और ना ही उन्हें आतंकवादी संगठनों के लिए सुरक्षित शरणस्थली बनना चाहिए। हम इस बात को हमने एक बार फिर दोहराया कि पाकिस्तान के लिए यह आवश्यक है कि वो अपने यहाँ आतंकवादियों और आपराधिक नेटवर्कों जैसे कि लश्कर तैयबा, जैश ए मोहम्मद और डी कंपनी के लिए शरणस्थली को खत्म करे। सेक्रेटरी कैरी और मैं इस बात पर भी सहमत थे कि पाकिस्तान को 2008 के मुंबई और 2016 के पठानकोट आतंकवादी हमलों के जिम्मेदार लोगों को सजा देने के लिए जल्द और कठोर कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए। इसके साथ ही
let's now go across to our top 7 stories of the day on 7 at 7.
मजबूत करने पर भी चर्चा की।
After signing a key logistics agreement with the United States of America, India hit out at Pakistan-sponsored terror in Jammu and Kashmir. Usually, India shies away from talking Kashmir at international fora, but this time, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar took the lead and hit out at Pakistan for fueling the unrest in the Kashmir Valley. A handshake in the US to slam Pakistan's Kashmir terror policy and counter China's muscle flexing in the region. The signing of the logistics agreement with the United States has already angered India's neighbors. But Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar went a step ahead and used the US platform to hit out at Pakistan-sponsored terror in a strongly worded statement. He squarely blamed Pakistan for unrest in Kashmir.
As far as Kashmir is concerned, I think the government of India has been very proactive. It's more of a violence which comes from across the border. Few small percentage is holding the majority at ransom.
The new India-US alliance has the dragon breathing fire. An editorial in the Chinese government mouthpiece warned that the move would irritate China, Pakistan and even Russia. It added that the pact wouldn't make India feel safer, but would instead put it into the center of geopolitical rivalries in Asia. Pakistan is actively pushing in terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir and is backing the Valley Hawks to fuel the fire in Kashmir. The NIA has initiated an investigation into terror funds from overseas and has summoned Naeem Gilani, the elder son of pro-Pakistan Hurriyat hawk Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani.
The water war between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka has escalated. Protests broke out in the Kaveri basin with farmers out on the streets demanding water for their paddy crop. Meanwhile, politics over the issue has also grown, with opposition DMK now asking Jayalalitha questions about why she has not been able to procure water from the neighbouring state. Karnataka has cited severe crunch for not being able to share the water of the Kaveri river.
Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are trading blows once again over the Kaveri River. The decades-long water wars between the two states refuses to ebb, with protests now breaking out in Tamil Nadu against the Karnataka government's recent snub. Farmers hit the streets after the Karnataka government refused to release extra water to Tamil Nadu.
Well, farmers from different parties, all parties are supporting the cause of farmers here. Regent Siddaramaiah has decided to not give Kaveri water to Tamil Nadu for this annual season. Now in Tamil Nadu, the annual season for irrigation starts from June to the next year's May. But even after 2 months, we have not received any water from Karnataka.
Meanwhile, Jayalalitha is facing massive pressure from the opposition as the DMK accused her government of not doing enough.
Tamil Nadu government is totally apathetic towards the concerns of the farmers. They think just by filing a few cases in the Supreme Court, their duty is over and writing a few letters. Apart from that, they have not done anything in the last 5 years, and we don't expect them to do anything.
But the AIADMK has dismissed the charge, making it clear that the fight for Kaveri water is just the beginning.
The Honorable Chief Minister Amma went to Supreme Court. She fought for that. And at last Supreme Court gave a very clear statement that Karnataka must give water to Tamil Nadu. It is their duty to give the water to Tamil Nadu. This superior is Supreme Court. Even with the Supreme Court order, Karnataka is not taking care at all.
Soon after chairing an all-party meet on Saturday, CM Siddaramaiah in no uncertain terms said that no water should be discharged for Tamil Nadu because of an agrarian crisis in Karnataka as well. While the Supreme Court will hear Tamil Nadu's plea for more water on September 2, it's clear that there's been a consistent failure by all concerned parties to resolve the water wars that's gone on for decades. Bureau Report, India Today.
The notorious power wars in Delhi back on the center stage. It's Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, versus the Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung. The Lieutenant Governor has reshuffled key aides of the Delhi Chief Minister, key bureaucrats in the Delhi government, and once again Arvind Kejriwal has hit out at Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying with this reshuffle the government is ensuring that he can't work.
The Delhi power tussle is back, and the latest round is being fought over transfer of key Delhi government officials by Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung. It is the very first face-off after the High Court upheld the LG as the administrative head of Delhi. Firing the latest salvo, the LG had clipped the Delhi government's wings, seriously curtailing the top Babu's power to transfer officials. In the next step, the LG made a major bureaucratic overhaul, shuffling key Babus appointed by the Kejriwal government. The transfer of officials handling flagship Aam Aadmi Party government projects led to angry retort from the Kejriwal government. The CM hit back at PM Modi, accusing him of meddling.
मैं दिल्ली वालों को कहना चाहता हूं कि अगर आपका हेल्थ सिस्टम जितनी तेजी से पिछले 1.5 साल में सुधरा है, अगर उसी तेजी से और नहीं बढ़ा, तो इसके लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक आदमी जिम्मेदार है, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी.
The LG's office denied the Aam Aadmi Party government's allegations and termed the transfers as routine. The BJP too hit back at Kejriwal for attacking the Prime Minister. The latest round of hostility comes at a time when the national capital is witnessing its worst ever dengue and chikungunya outbreak and a deteriorating traffic mess. Can the LG and the CM bury their differences for the sake of Delhi? Bureau Report, India Today.
First came the images of a tribal man carrying his dead wife's body over his shoulder after being denied a mortuary van in Odisha's Kalahandi. And now images emerging from Kanpur of a young boy breathing his last in the arms of his father while he was carrying him to the emergency ward after being denied a stretcher. Two haunting images of death exposing the state of healthcare in India.
Another day,
And yet another haunting image of death. Images with the power to shock an entire country. A father running door to door carrying his 12-year-old son, a child who eventually passed away in his arms. Shockingly, these are images from one of the biggest hospitals in Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh, the government-run Lala Lajpat Rai Hospital. Ansh was unwell for the past few days, but when his condition deteriorated, his father called for an ambulance. None arrived. This was just the first of many shocking systemic failures. The local hospital he went to first refused to admit the child, referring him to the government hospital. In the absence of an ambulance, the child was taken there in a truck. There was no senior doctor in emergency, only a junior doctor who referred the child to the children's ward. No ward boys came to help, and the child was taken 300 meters away by the father on his shoulders. By that time, little Ansh had died.
दूसरे बच्चे के स्टेज बेड पे लिटाने के बाद उनको जवाब दे दिया आपका बच्चा नहीं रहा, आप ले जाइए। भाई वहाँ से मैं दौड़ते दौड़ते मरियमपुर आया, मरियमपुर में नहीं कोई मिला। इसके बाद एजेंसी गया, एजेंसी में लास्ट टाइम उनका 10 मिनट बेटा पहले आते तो आपका बच्चे बचा सकते हैं।
The nightmare didn't end there. After Ansh was pronounced dead on arrival at the children's ward, no ambulance or hearse was provided to take him home. The father was again forced to shoulder the child and hire a cab. After India Today reported the story, city administration was forced to order an investigation with the report to be submitted on Friday. It hasn't even been a week since the images of a man carrying his dead wife shook the entire country. Hopefully these images should be enough to haunt a pole-bound Akhilesh Yadav for the next few months. With Kumar Abhishek and Ranjay Sharma in Kanpur, Bureau Report, India Today.
There is a massive spike in the number of chikungunya cases in the national capital, and an India Today reality check has revealed how ill-equipped is the national capital to deal with this. We'll take you to ground zero, we'll take you to hospitals in Delhi and show you how they're dealing with it.
Delhi's hospitals bursting at the seams, struggling to cope with influx of patients suffering from dengue and chikungunya. A shocking India Today reality check exposes just how ill-equipped Delhi's hospitals are. At South Delhi's Madan Mohan Malviya Hospital, we saw a huge crowd waiting for its turn. Some patients were forced to lie on the floor as the hospital failed to accommodate them. Aam Aadmi Party MLA Somnath Bharti, who visited the hospital, had to face the wrath of the people.
केजरीवाल वैसे भी कहते हैं हर दवाई मिलती, लेकिन मरीज को दवाई नहीं मिलती। 1 रुपया की जो 10 गोलियां मिलती हैं वो हम लोगों को मिलती हैं, हम लोगों को खास दवाई नहीं मिलती है।
When India Today confronted Somnath Bharti, he blamed the MCD for the outbreak of chikungunya and dengue.
अगर सफाई का काम एमसीडी का है, अगर एमसीडी सफाई नहीं कर रही तो अगर डेंगू फैल रहा है और चिकनगुनिया फैल रही है, उसका तो जो प्रिवेंटिव वाला है, अगर एमसीडी उसमें फेल हो रही है, हम तो क्यूरेटिव तो कर ही रहे हैं।
India Today team also saw serpentine queues at certain Delhi's RML hospital, where patients have to wait for hours to get checked by doctor.
काफ़ी देर हो गई हमें यहाँ आए हुए और काफ़ी टाइम लग गया। कोई बोल रहा है इधर जाइए, वो डॉक्टर बोल रहे उधर जाइए, वो टेस्ट कराइए। हम जाएगा, अब कोई डिसीजन निकला, बोले मंडे को आना, फिर टेस्ट होगा इसको डेंगू है या नहीं है।
In North Delhi's Baba Saheb Ambedkar Hospital, there is acute shortage of beds. On many beds, 2 patients were seen jostling for place. Doctors say even an increase in beds has not made any difference.
500 बेड का हमारा अस्पताल है, तो 50 बेड की हमारी सर्च कैपेसिटी ऑलरेडी होती है डिजास्टर के नाम से। तो डिजास्टर तो नहीं है, बट अपने आप ही मैनेज कर रहे हैं क्योंकि लेकिन हम वो बेड को भी अनफोल्ड कर देते हैं और उस पर पेशेंट डालते हैं। लेकिन मरीज का लोड इतना ज़्यादा है कि बावजूद उसके हमारे पर डबल हो जाते हैं।
While Delhi sees a surge in mosquito-borne diseases every monsoon, the big question here is, why has the government been underprepared? Bureau Report, India Today.
After the stupendous success of Kabali, Thalaiva fans can now look forward to his next big flick. Son-in-law Dhanush set the curiosity quotient a bit higher by posting a 10-second teaser of his father-in-law's next big flick.
Actor Dhanush, who is also Rajini's son-in-law, took to Twitter to post a 10-second video that's taken the internet by storm. Yes, it's a teaser of Rajini's next film.